The only way you're going to overcome your breakthrough season is if you continue to show up for yourself, despite and regardless of how you feel. Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Now, of course, there is no right or wrong way to heal yourself, so always take what resonates, leave the rest, as well as grabbing your pen and your paper and being prepared to take notes. You have to realize that the only way you're going to overcome your adversity and your trials and tribulations is if you take every single day for what it is and you show up for yourself. Now, granted, this doesn't mean that you are not going to feel tired emotionally, physically, financially. This doesn't mean that you're not going to be anxious. This doesn't mean that you're not going to experience anxiety. This doesn't mean that you're not going to feel overwhelmed. This doesn't mean that you don't have these labels and attachments such as being depressed, BPD, ADHD, ADD, or any other thing that you've been diagnosed with or that you feel from the trauma and the trials and tribulations previously. Healing is not a one-size-fits-all. And you have to realize that when you are trying to get somewhere, you have to be intentional, but most importantly, you have to let go of the previous baggage. It only seems so much more difficult when we refuse to do what we need to do in order for us to grow, and two, we're holding on to old beliefs, old mindsets, and old behaviors. Now, because there's no right or wrong way to heal yourself, you have to realize your breakthrough is not a specific time. There are only 24 hours in a day. It could take years, it could take weeks, it could take months. It all just depends on where you're meant to go in this life. You have to realize you are not going to live forever and that your life is a journey, it's a destination, and your final destination is death. And I'm just going to say that because we have to start living as if we're dying. Shout out to Chris Allen. If you guys know what that song is, comment down below. You have to learn how to be grateful for every single day because the time is going to go by regardless. So these are going to be 5 recommendations in order for you to show up regardless of how you're feeling. Number 1, you have to realize that if you're uncomfortable here, you're going to be uncomfortable 5 years from now. You're going to be uncomfortable 10 years from now. You may be uncomfortable by the end of this month or for the rest of your life. You have to ask yourself, do I want to be uncomfortable or am I going to get myself out of this situation? Yes, you may not have the finances. Yes, you may not have the resources. Yes, you may not have the tools. You just have to make a decision. It starts with that because once again, healing, how we heal over here, we break it down from A through Z. There are 26 letters in the alphabet. 26 steps, if not more. And the reason why I strategically break it down in that order is because it could be a lot trying to do everything. Like, it is impossible for you to do a trillion tasks in a day, regardless if you took the whole 24 hours. You have to realize that when you burn yourself out, when you do a trillion tasks in a day, when you try to heal yourself in a day and you've been traumatized emotionally, psychologically, physically, financially for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you're going to burn yourself out. And that's why you're so easier and you feel so much more discouraged to give up on yourself. You have to learn how to pace yourself. You have to learn how to be practical. Like, I'm not here to tell you guys to be delusional or to, fake it until you make it, because when you fake it till you make it, you're fake. And when you're delusional, you're not being true to who you are. So it's just like, you have to learn how to go with the flow. You have to learn how to break things down in seasons and understand, like, every single day, as long as you do one thing or you do something, you will overcome what it is that you're going through. And it's not until you decide that you want to experience change. If you don't want to experience change, if you don't want to heal, these videos are not for you, and nothing is going to change. And I'm speaking from experience, you guys. Like, I have a story to tell. We all go through trials and tribulations. We all have experienced adversity. It's all about how we choose to handle it. And if I wasn't somebody speaking from experience, as well as being a naturopathic physician and just working with people and just experiencing life just like you, I wouldn't be able to make these videos. Like, I've had to realize that when it comes to my healing journey, yes, I've went through things. Yes, it takes time to heal things. So I'm not invalidating your experience, but I don't want to be uncomfortable. I don't want to be miserable. I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be frustrated. I don't want to be overwhelmed, especially when we go through the times, our paths that we're like struggling and suffering and it was negative and toxic. A lot of times it wasn't in our control. And if it was in our control, we learned the lesson. And you have to realize that it's not fair to beat yourself up over past lessons and experiences when you didn't have the finances, you didn't have the resources, you didn't have the guidance, you didn't have the support. So the past is over with. You cannot go back in time. And like I said, over here, we're very practical, as people like to say, transparent, but it's just like, this is reality. And the more you try to sweep your problems underneath the rug, the more you try to dismiss how you feel, the more you try to act like certain things aren't going on, the more you end up suffering and being hurt. So in order for you to push through, regardless of what you're going through or what you've experienced, you have to make a choice. That's the first thing that you need to start doing. Do you want to become better? And when you decide that you want to become better, then of course, as this video continues, I'll give you the rest of the steps. But that's for real. It's very simple. Do I want to become better? Do I want to take care of myself? It is one thing for you to say that you want to become better and not put in the work and not put in the action. And that's going to be the second thing. And that's what a lot of people do not talk about. And I'm speaking from experience. You have to be able to put in the work. I realized, for me personally, I could write down affirmations. I could visualize all day. I can make 11,000 vision boards. If I am not putting in the work, it's just in your mind. And that's why people become super anxious. And that's why people become delusional. And that's why people feel some type of way, because it's just like, you keep thinking about it. You keep writing it down. You don't believe it. You will start to believe in yourself. You will start to overcome your trials and tribulations. You'll start to see the fruits of your labors. You'll be able to see your results when you start to do something. Because there's only 24 hours in a day, like I said, you don't have to heal in a day. You don't have to do a trillion tasks in a day. You have to take your time. If you have gone through physical abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, it's best that you take your time. I am the type of person where I believe in balance. I am. Now, when you know your schedule, when you have work, because once again, everyone doesn't have the same 24 hours, but it's like, when you do have time for yourself, you have to learn how to become punctual. You have to use your time wisely. So like, I recommend that whenever you guys have off days, of course you're resting, because I'm a strong believer in resting. Like, I'm not a slave. No shade, no tea. And my ancestors weren't slaves. All shade, all tea. I'm not burning myself out. If I don't have to work 24 hours straight, if I don't have to work 10 hours straight, 7 hours straight, I'm not going to do that. I don't have anything to prove. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to do what works for me with what I have, because you don't have everything a lot of times when you are letting go of old ways and old mindsets, and when you're doing it by yourself, or you may not have support. You have to use the time that you have, like your off days. You have to learn how to change your priorities. So instead of going to the club, instead of going outside, instead of going on vacation, you have to become obedient. Because guess what? The club, outside, vacations, is not to say that you can't do those things, but it's just like, you have to pick the lifestyle that you want. And if you want certain things, like if you want to lose weight, you can't continue to go out to eat. You can't continue to go bar hopping all the time. You have to make some time to start going to the gym. You got to start making time to exercise. If you want to be a content creator, you got to start making time putting in the content. If you want to go back to school, you got to make time to go to school. If you want to be more cleanliness, you got to make time to prioritize your health. But you don't have to rush to do it. But it's just like, we have to be effing for real. Like, you have to be very intentional. Like, you can't do what you used to do and think you're going to get the same results, because it doesn't work like that. But you have to pace yourself. So the third thing is not comparing yourself or feeling the need to rush yourself, because you don't have nothing to prove. I don't have nothing to prove to anybody. I know what I've gone through. I know how I feel. And once again, because you don't have to rush healing yourself, it's up to you to do the work. If you don't have the finances, if you don't have the resources, if you don't have all the tools, if you've lost certain things, if you lost your mind, you do have to start from square one. You do have to start from the bottom. You do have to get it out the mud. And even if you do have the resources, even if you do have the support, even if you do have the guidance, you have to be able to maintain it. If you do not put in the work, if you don't take time to heal, if you don't take time to grieve, if you're not sitting in this temporary form of discomfort, because that's what it is. It's a temporary form of discomfort. And the longer you sit in your temporary form of discomfort, the more you're going to purge and release mindsets and behaviors. Like, a lot of times when people refuse to do certain changes, it's because they never really wanted it. And that was the first thing that I recommended to you, was just ask yourself, do you want change? Like, if you really want something, it doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter what you have to do. You're going to get it done. It has to get done at the end of the day. You have to show up regardless of how you feel. Like I said, I do recommend that you have your days where you rest. You have your days that you work. You have your days where you enjoy yourself. I created a 30-day consistency challenge and a playlist talking about that. I will have that in the description. Make sure you watch the videos. Those videos are a little bit longer because step by step, I'm giving you guys, like I said, A through Z, what you need to do, when you need to do it, and how you need to do it, because it's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that you lost the weight. It's not a coincidence that you bought the house. It's not a coincidence that you became a content. It's not a coincidence. It's not. If things are not handed to you in life, you have to put in the work. So it's just like, you need to know what it is that you want. You really need to sit with yourself and make sure, okay, if I don't like where I am right now, what can I do? And that's the fourth or fifth thing. Figuring out what you have, what you can do, and make your routine. Everyone does not have the same finances. Everyone does not have the same schedule. Everyone does not. You can't worry about what other people are doing because you don't have the same life as them. And honestly, it shouldn't matter what anybody is saying because they're not you. At the end of the day, they're not you. And they're not helping you. Like me personally, I don't listen to everybody. I don't take everybody seriously. You have to know when and when not to take people in life seriously. If not, you're always going to be stressed out. You're always going to be overwhelmed. Balance is really important. But it's just like, in order for you to have balance, you need to figure out what you want. You need to figure out what you have. And you need to just take every single day for what it is. But most importantly, you have to grieve. You have to shed. We are caterpillars turning into butterflies. A butterfly doesn't become a butterfly unless it goes through its cocoon season. And that's what you are. You're in your season of being in a cocoon. But you're not going to ever reach that point of you being a butterfly if you stop. Like I said, you don't have to do a trillion tasks in a day. You don't have to be overwhelmed. You don't have to have everything figured out. But you do have to realize what you want. But until you know what you want, until you want to know what you're supposed to do, you're constantly going to feel stuck and stagnant. You have to talk about how you feel. You have to talk about it until you're ready to let it go. Because once again, letting go takes time. I'm not here to tell somebody how long it takes to take time. And I know a lot of people who are not doing what you're doing, try to dismiss you and discredit you. You can't listen to them. You have to know when to take advice from people. You have to know what resonates with you, and you have to know what's not. And once you do, and those are going to be the next couple of videos moving forward, start working towards it. That's all you have to do. All you have to do is be very intentional. All you have to do is figure out what you want. And then, of course, when you figure out what you have and you start, speaking from experience, you will get the resources, the tools, and the guidance and the wisdom. Whether it's financially, emotionally, psychologically, consciously, subconsciously. Whether you believe in God, ancestors, the universe, or you believe in yourself. I'm not here to force religion or spirituality. But I'm going to end off the video with that because I don't want to make this video too long. If you guys have questions, comments, and concerns, make sure you like this video, share, repost it. Thank you for liking, sharing, and reposting. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for following me on all social media platforms. All the information will be down in the description box below, as well as follow me on my Instagram and on my TikTok. I will be going live answering you guys' questions. Let me know in the comment section what you guys want to discuss, as well as the community section. And thank you for booking a service in a session. My website is also in the bio. And excuse me, you guys, just realize that the only way you're going to overcome your trials and tribulations is if you keep moving. Like, you have to be practical. And that's why all tea, all shade, I'm not going to tell you just to be delusional or to fake it till you make it. Because it's just like, faking it till you make it is not going to end well for you because it was never genuine. And when you get put on the scene and when you get the spotlight on you, let's just say you do get the things that you want, you're not going to be able to sustain it. You have to take your time. You have to continue to show up. Like I said, rest when you need to rest, cry when you need to cry. But it's a journey. So take your time, okay? Love you, bye.